In every village, there is a story people whisper after midnight. Not about witches, not about spirits, but about a woman who married a man beneath her and slowly buried him while he was still breathing. His name was Tunde. He had nothing except vision. No land, no inheritance, no rich family, but he had ideas that could change a nation. Her name was Amara, daughter of power, owner of oil blocks, feared in boardrooms. She saw Tunde's ideas and she smiled. She didn't marry him for love.
Why would she marry him?
She married
Let the lady
him
wearing the
for
crown speak.
ownership.
He has nothing. My husband had a small idea. I refined it, I funded it, I made it profitable.
Was our idea.
Without me, you are nothing. Remember that.
What Amara didn't know, every time she mocked him publicly, something ancient was listening. The first night she signed his company fully into
is
her
there,
name,
guards?
the wind in the mansion changed.
You gave her your
That
name.
same
She
night,
is my wife. She has
Tunde
taken more than your name.
dreamed.
She is eating your future.
Amara Okafor, the visionary behind the factory of Rikaka.
When you marry wisely, you
Close
multiply
up
success.
on Tunde, his eyes.
Why do I feel smaller? Because she is standing where you were meant to stand.
You are wearing a crown stitched with another man's thread. I built
She
everything
did not
I have.
know spiritual theft awakens
You borrowed his
spiritual
destiny.
debt.
And destiny collects with interest.
After
Why
the
are you
priestess's
staring at me
warning,
like that?
nothing dramatic happened.
Of course you don't.
No
People who
lightning,
contribute nothing
no
usually
curse,
lose their appetite for
just
responsibility.
silence.
This house
The
needs
mansion
better
used to feel
maintenance.
powerful, but lately it felt like it was watching her. Amara walks down
This
the
house
hallway.
needs better
One of the
maintenance.
framed photos suddenly falls off the wall. Crash! She jumps. The next week,
Madam Amara, the
something
expansion
strange
strategy.
began to happen. The ideas
We'll revisit that
stopped
in the
coming.
next meeting.
For the first time in years,
Madam
the
Amara,
genius
the
of Amara
expansion
Okafor
strategy.
hesitated. Tunde had also changed.
let her carry
He spoke
what
less.
belongs to
He
you.
moved slower.
I loved her.
But the mirror told a
And she
different
loved
story.
your destiny.
Because sometimes the quietest
Amara, you are
people are the ones
unstoppable.
Everything
reclaiming
you
what
touch
was
becomes
stolen.
gold.
The camera slowly zooms
he look
in
like
to
that?
Tunde's eyes. They look calmer than ever. Somewhere beyond the world of the living, a debt had been acknowledged, and destiny was beginning its slow return.
Ma'am, 3 investors just
For
pulled out of the
years,
Abuja
success
project.
followed Amara
That's
like a
impossible. Call
loyal
them back.
shadow.
They said the
But
ideas
shadows
don't feel the
only
same
exist
anymore.
when the
Ma'am, 3
light
investors
is
just
real.
pulled out of the Abuja
Her
project.
phone vibrates
That's
repeatedly.
impossible. You used to help
He
me
was
with
no longer
strategies.
arguing.
You told
He was
the
no
world
longer
they were
defending
yours.
himself.
The
And
river has started
somehow,
flowing back.
that scared
She
her
borrowed a destiny that
more.
was still breathing. And
Amara
destiny does
thought
not
she
forgive
married a poor
As
man.
you can see from the innovation
But she never
strategy,
asked a more dangerous
wasn't
question.
she a genius?
Whose destiny
She used to
had
be.
she married?
You remained patient. I never asked for revenge. This is not revenge. This is restoration. Everything she took must return.
For the first time in her life, Amara was afraid of silence.
The innovation pipeline has stopped completely. The investors want leadership restructuring.
You are questioning my leadership.
The sound
You've
of
been
rain
different.
hitting the roof of a house
I've been
that
the same.
suddenly felt
You're
too
just seeing
big.
me now.
She
In
thought
marriage,
she
2
had
destinies
married
become
a
a river.
poor
But when
man.
one partner blocks
But
the other,
destiny
the river
had
floods,
only
and
been
floods do not choose what they
waiting.
destroy.
And the final payment was coming. That night, the house that celebrated her success began to reject it. The lights flickered violently.
you do
Another
to me?
trophy falls.
I did
Crack.
nothing. You simply ran out of
Months
the
later,
destiny you borrowed.
That makes no sense.
the
You
empire
spent years
collapsed.
standing on my shoulders
Investors
while
left,
telling the world
companies
I was
closed,
beneath
friends
you.
disappeared. Across the city, a new name
Marriage
began
joins two
rising.
destinies, but arrogance makes one
Tunde
partner a
Adeyemi.
thief, and
His
destiny
ideas were
always
finally
returns
his
to its
again,
owner.
and they flourished.
The balance
Meanwhile,
is restored.
What was taken has returned.
And her?
She must now live without borrowed light. I should have honored the man who stood beside me.
Never mock the person whose destiny walks with yours, because the day destiny leaves, even a palace becomes empty. Never mock the person whose destiny walks with yours, because the day destiny leaves, even a palace becomes empty.
years passed. The mansion that once stood proudly on the hill slowly lost its voice. The gates that once opened for luxury cars began to rust. The marble floors that once reflected celebration became covered in dust. And the powerful name that once echoed through boardrooms and conferences became nothing more than a quiet memory. In the nearby village, children often gathered beneath the shade of an ancient baobab tree. There, an old storyteller would sit with his wooden staff, watching the sunset paint the sky in shades of gold and fire. And sometimes, when the wind moved gently through the leaves, he would tell them a story. The story of a woman who believed success could be taken instead of earned. The children would lean closer as the elder spoke slowly. In this life, he would say, there are many types of wealth. Some people inherit it, some people build it, and some people, he would pause, borrow it. The old man would tap his staff softly on the ground. But borrowed destiny, he would continue, is the most dangerous wealth of all, because destiny always remembers its owner. Across the city, far from the quiet village roads, another story was unfolding. Tunde never spoke badly about the woman who once humiliated him. He carried no anger, no revenge. He simply walked forward with the destiny that had finally returned to him. And when that destiny was no longer hidden, it began to shine. His ideas built companies, his wisdom attracted partners, and the quiet man the world once ignored became a name many respected. But the greatest change in Tunde was not his success, it was his humility, because he understood something many people never learn, that destiny is not meant to be stolen, it is meant to be honored. Meanwhile, the great mansion on the hill stood alone. The windows cracked, the gardens grew wild, and the echoes of past glory faded into silence. The woman who once ruled that house was not chased by spirits. No curses followed her, no shadows haunted her steps. Her punishment was far simpler and far heavier. She had to live the rest of her life knowing that the success she once celebrated was never truly hers. And so the old storyteller would end his tale with one final piece of wisdom. He would look at the children carefully and say, "In marriage, you do not compete with the destiny beside you. You protect it. Because the day destiny decides to walk away, even a palace becomes empty. And somewhere in the quiet corners of the village, when the night is still and the wind moves through the trees, people still whisper about the woman who borrowed a man's destiny and forgot that it had an owner."
Thanks for watching. Kindly subscribe, like, and turn on the notification for more amazing stories.